Now, I didn't want to make this video. I struggled with this video for one reason and one reason only. TikTok hates when I do these videos. But I'm still going to do the video. And I want you to tell me in the comments, since TikTok restricts me, what part of this made you uncomfortable? Because I know what part made me uncomfortable. But let's watch. Let's watch Michelle Obama tell us about femininity.
Want to be professional, at least I did. I wanted to be taken seriously, but there is the expectation there's a level of femininity to being the first lady. And as a Black woman, I felt that I had to make sure that people could see my feminine side. You know, I took the job very seriously. So I want to be professional, at least I did. I wanted to be taken seriously, but there is the expectation there's a level of femininity to being the first lady. And as a Black woman, I felt that I had to make sure that people could see my feminine side. You know.
Excuse me? And ladies and gentlemen, that's all I can say. You tell me in the comments what you think. Skedaddle.
What is the big push with the homeschool? Over the last couple of years, I've noticed a big transition from students from a traditional school setting into a homeschool setting. So what is causing that? It's important for us to have this dialogue and get people's perspective so we can see where everyone is coming from. My perspective as an educator in the school setting is students that are homeschooled are missing out on the entire socialization aspect of even being in school.
No, they're not. They're missing out on the indoctrination that people like you give in the school. Parents are now taking back the ability for people like you and the other educators like you in the school system who are ruining these children from day one. You're worried about we're not able to get our hands and socialize them, and we're worried about what are you teaching them while you're there. It ain't reading, writing, and arithmetic. We know what it is. And a lot more parents today are saying we've had enough. Hope that helps. Live look at the EBT community. This EBT member wants us to go back to Africa. I just want you to know that I'm staying with the predominantly white country. I will never go to Africa. I've never been to Africa. I'm pretty sure it's just like Atlanta. But let's watch.
You argue with a racist person, the first thing they say is go back to Africa, go back to your country. And you know what? That's low-key a great idea. I feel like all Black people should just go back to Africa. We could turn that bitch to the new Wakanda. You feel
Wakanda
me? Like,
is not
imagine if we just
real.
had all Black people living in Africa. We'd have to cut out all the gang culture though. I know it's already gang culture in Africa, but we'd have to cut all that shit out. Like imagine all the Black minds working together in Africa, in our own country. So yeah, racist people, y'all were right with that shit. Let's go back to Africa. Fuck y'all. Don't blame me. It's science.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. Everything he talking about, it sounds sweet to people that hate white folks. We have examples of this not working. Oakland, Atlanta, places where they're majority Black. They're not thriving. All you would do is turn Nigeria into a worse version of Nigeria. This is a horrible idea. But I salute you. I want y'all to go back and see your motherland. Just leave me here with the white folks. Skedaddle. Live look at the EBT community. This EBT member thinks that the NFL is racist. The NFL, where the majority of people that play in the NFL look like me. How could the NFL be racist? Let's listen.
There's no way that you watch the NFL. There's no way that you watch the NFL and you don't recognize the difference in how Black quarterbacks are treated amongst white quarterbacks.
I'm going to stop you right there. The majority, the most, the top, the amount of Black quarterbacks in the NFL is at all-time highs. How can that be racism? That's the opposite of racism. But then again, you always find something to complain about.
There's just no way. There's nobody who has a fair assessment, even the coaches, Black coaches compared to white coaches, which ain't a lot of black coaches in the NFL anyway. There's no way you watch the NFL and you think, oh, yeah, they're judging everybody fairly. They're not. They're not. If you haven't noticed that the NFL is a racist league in totality, it's an enjoyable game to watch when the flags aren't being thrown all crazy and they're not cheating or shaving stuff or influxing stuff to meet their quota, the Vegas prize picks and all this extra gambling stuff. But there's no way you watch the NFL and don't recognize, like, yo, they're definitely 100% it's a racist league.
I'm starting to believe the 86 thing. Ask me in the comments if you don't know what it is. This has got to be one of the worst takes I've ever heard. The NFL has more black quarterbacks, more black coaches than it's ever had. The NFL makes millionaires out of black men like me and you. But that's racist. I don't think y'all even know what racist is anymore. Just get at them. Live look at the EBT community. This EBT member has a message for white folks. So if I fit along with them, are you talking to me too? Let's watch.
Slavery and police brutality aside, do you know how incredibly evil you have to be to deny someone food? What deep, dark depths of hell do you have to stoop to find it in your heart to not want the next person to have a hot dog? That's a different level of savagery. That's why I say the DNA, the composition of the DNA is not normal. Because we've already established that all lives don't really matter, even though that's what you all love to say whenever you want to deflect. It's your brains that we need to study. What is it with you all that you are so, what is with your brains that you are so committed to people being subservient to you? Be the most mediocre people with the most mediocre history and the most mediocre culture, if you even want to call it that I've ever seen or heard of in my life. What do you have that you haven't stolen?
How is this real? What world are we living in? Does she know the history of the world, or is it that you just hate white people? And you look half white, so I'm confused. Do you hate your own people? This is the most confusing angle I've heard in a long time. Let's get at them. What?
In the grocery store I want to be in the grocery store when they start looting it, because you think that people are going to be hungry? You think that these people not going to get their Thanksgiving? Baby, when they run up in there and start stealing them turkeys, oh, it's going to be like Christmas came early up in this bitch. I want to see the first news story about somebody stealing a turkey, because you know that shit about to go down, and I wanna be front row for it, because I'm here for it. Get everything up out of the grocery store. Get.
Now, can you imagine? This is the jubilation. She's basically acting as if this is the day after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. This is the best day of her life. She's getting some free turkey. What about your next meal? Have you thought about that? Oh, you haven't? Of course not.